A final critically important truth about the gospel is this. The gospel calls for a response. The gospel calls for a response. And we see that, for example, in Romans 10, verse 16.
But not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah says, Lord, who has believed our message?
Now, Van, that could be confusing to use the word obey in relation to the gospel because we do not believe that we can earn our salvation. What does it mean, however, to obey the gospel?
To obey the gospel means to receive its saving benefits by turning from sin in our lives and trusting in Jesus Christ alone. Now, repentance and trust are not the gospel, but they are the appropriate responses to the gospel.
Well said. So to summarize a lot of this, God the Father intervened into the world in the person of Jesus Christ, but God the Father is not the gospel. We need to explain to people the consequences of sin, but explaining sin is not the gospel, but we need to do it. Jesus' death and resurrection is the gospel, and as Van just said, turning from our sin and trusting in Jesus Christ, those are the most appropriate responses to the gospel. And I believe that keeping those categories in mind will help us to be very faithful as we think about this topic and faithful as we communicate it to others.